Hello, I am back on the floor again to film a spring book haul. I got my cats with me. Oh, just kidding, they're leaving. But yeah, I've gotten some books for the spring. So, oh hi Michelle. One of the cats is walking up to me. And I wanted to film a little book haul, talk about them a little bit. Some of them I know the plots, because some of them I've already read already. Some of them I don't really know what they're about because I haven't read them yet, but we'll see. So the first book, this one is actually one I already read this month for May, but it's Break Your Glass Slippers by Amanda Lovelace. This is a poetry collection, her latest poetry collection, and it's very Cinderella themed. It's from her new series. Let me see what the new series is called. So her new series is You Are Your Own Fairy Tale. So it's a fairy tale themed series as well. So the sequels should have other fairy tales. It's shorter than a lot of her other collections. If you've ever read her books, you can tell. And it has artwork in it, a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit. And it was okay. I honestly didn't think it was that great, but I'll get into that more in if I film a May wrap up. Because this is just a haul. The next book that I want to talk about is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This is a horror, a cheesy 90s themed horror, about these women who live in Charleston, South Carolina, which actually is not that far from me. And they're in a book club together, and they have to deal with some problems in their town, and there's vampires, and it's a great book. I already finished this one as well. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. But again, we'll get into that more in the wrap up. But yeah, the plot, it's basically women, very cheesy 90s horror movie kind of feel when you're reading this book, and I adored it. I thought it was so good. The next book I want to talk about, this is one that I have not read yet, and I don't really know what it's about, but it's The Troop by Nick Cutter. This is another horror. If you can't tell, Gabby's latest video made me really inspired to check out some more horror, because I've never really read any horror besides that vampire book. But from my understanding, this book is Canadian Boy Scouts are in the woods camping, and there's a lot of body horror, so it's gonna be really creepy. Stephen King blurbed it. He's pretty famous for horror, as everyone knows. And according to the back of the book, and this actually won a big award for horror writing, the James Herbert Award, which I don't know how big that is actually, but maybe it is. So once a year, Scoutmaster Tim Riggs leads a troop of boys into the Canadian wilderness for a weekend camping trip, a tradition as comforting and reliable as a good ghost story around a roaring bonfire. Sorry, I have to catch up because I'm talking, so I have to catch up on my breathing. But when an unexpected intruder stumbles upon their campsite, shockingly thin, disturbingly pale, and voraciously hungry, and the cats want to tear up the rug apparently, Tim and the boys are exposed to something far more frightening than any tale of terror: the human carrier of a bioengineered nightmare. Okay, so it's they're met when they're camping by some person who's just really scary. It's a horror that spreads faster than fear, a harrowing struggle for survival with no escape from the elements, the infected, or one another. Okay, so yeah, that sounds terrifying. Hopefully I'll get to it soon, because I really want to read it. And the audiobook is on Scribd, so I can always listen along to it, which I love to do. But yeah, the next book I got is The Star of the Sea, by Erin Morgenstern. I have not read this yet. And it's all I really know is it's very lyrical, very beautifully written, and it's a story within a story within a story, or something like that. And that's really all I know. I'd wanted to start this, but I haven't been able to yet. I read a little tiny bit of it, maybe the first couple percentage, 5%, but I haven't gotten past that. I'm probably gonna pick it up in June, just because I don't see myself picking this for May book bingo, which I'm doing in May. But yeah, don't really know what it's about. This next book is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. This is a little rom-com contemporary romance about like these fiancés. So they're already engaged and now they hate each other now that they're engaged and the wedding is coming. And they both want to break off the wedding, but they can't because they will lose out on their money that they've invested into the wedding, or like they'll have to pay the bill or something, like whichever one breaks it off. So obviously they don't want to be stuck with that bill, so they're still getting married, they're still going through with it, and they hate each other. So I think it's like love to hate to love, but we'll see. And the next book I got, which I'm very excited for, but also like not so excited for, because I accidentally picked this for book bingo for my random TBR jar pick, and this was a mistake to pick for that. But The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, finally got a copy. This is epic fantasy. It's over 1,000 pages, so it's a big chunky book. Yeah, all I know about this is that it's adult fantasy, adult epic fantasy. It's gonna be a lot to get through, but I think it'll be worth it. And the final book I got in that order, was The Final Empire, aka the First Mistborn trilogy book by Brandon Sanderson. This one, I'm not sure if this is also epic fantasy or just adult fantasy, but I know this series is very, very popular. I think I'll like this series even. I think this will be my favorite series by Brandon Sanderson if I can actually get to it and read it. But yeah, I got the UK covers for his books because the American covers are kind of ugly, but got the UK covers. As you can see, they're gorgeous. And yeah, those are the books that I got for spring. So what are you reading for spring? Let me know. What's your favorite book that you've read most recently? Let me know down in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.